back now with many calls and not too much time. And I want to give Dave a chance to finish up with what he was saying. Dave, please, if you will,
I'll try to be quick.
I think I've asked you to write to me last week. Did you?
Yeah.
Did you send me an email?
Yeah, but my emails are often
research
blocked.
it again, because I get so many emails. I probably did receive it and just can't remember temporarily.
Because you asked for my stuff, and I said you asked for my... I remember the email. In fact, I forwarded to some others. The ones I sent to you.
I might very well have your email here. I've got to recheck it and look in my storage.
Well,
okay?
I won't take up your time now. I'll send it again.
Yes,
but,
okay. Fair.
That said, the Bernie Madoff matter, believe it or not, to me is chump change. I'm a whistleblower about the economy.
Right. I remember you telling us.
Yeah, but now, the Bernie Madoff matter is interesting in relationship to your topic about Zionism because of this bugger named Baconfat 53 who attacked me, and the timing of his attack and what he says in his blog. Like if you play poker and argue lawyers like I do, you look for the tell.
Right.
And a lawyer should never ask a question he doesn't know the answer to or make a statement that the other fellow can use against him. So anyway, this fellow here keeps bringing up Bernie Madoff. So I know that is what has upset him greatly. And he attacks everyone. I mean, he gives no quarter to one soul on the planet except for Jewish folks, of course, and Jesuits and Freemasons. I find that interesting. He supports them. Now, I don't even bring up Bernie Madoff to him at all. He just picks out my writing because I'm quite prolific on the web.
Sure.
But Robert Glauber, he's a lawyer, a Jewish lawyer, I believe. He lives in Brookline, Massachusetts, and he used to work for the SEC, and now he teaches at Harvard. He was the reason that Mark Litt, the U.S. Attorney in New York, filed my emails under seal in the Bernie Madoff matter on March the 10th. Now, if you check my work, I caused rather important hearings at the U.S. Senate Banking Committee on November the 18th and November the 20th, 2003. Robert Glauber, Elliot Spitzer, and Stephen Cutler all testified on the second day. And one of the fellows I was taken on after the fact was a lawyer named Ferguson. He was the co-chair of the Fed Bank. And he's a black fella and a lawyer. And you wouldn't think he was the Jewish, but he has an interesting wife. Her name is Nazareth, and she worked for the SEC. And now Mr. Ferguson is one of Mr. Obama's top economic advisors, along with Paul Volcker, Mr. Campos, Mr. Donaldson, who testified on the first day, et cetera, et cetera. Now, those hearings and the webcasts have disappeared from the public record. But Mr. Glauber was the reason Bernie Madoff pled guilty so quickly. I know it. I lived it. Now, anybody can check to see that he testified on the 20th. Now, everybody knows that Bernie Madoff could not have done that alone.
Of course not.
And everybody knows that $65 billion doesn't disappear in thin air. And everybody knows the money still exists somewhere in some form. And clearly it's within his nest of friends, which appear to be largely Zionists. Thanks to Mr. Baconfat. Now, Mr. Baconfat appears to me to be Mossad. Now, everybody knows... They're connected
all the way, I can assure you. When you talk about this or any other issue like this, it's Mossad all the way. Yeah, so I had a friend that was, once is, always is, an NSA agent. And he told me years ago that no matter what he and the Russians dice with, it didn't matter. It was always a draw. Because what irritated the most, he found out in the end, was that the Israelis were feeding both sides to keep things at a detente kind of thing. That's their game plan. That's their M.O. That's what irritated my friend greatly. But everybody knows who I am. You can Google me. I don't even have to send you an email because often my emails are blocked, sir. I kid you not. That's why I asked you that.
Yeah, but if I'll send you an email once we get off the phone. You respond right back. I'll say it's me, Dave. I'll put that
after the program. I will. Yes.
I'll put that in the title, and you bounce back. If you don't get it, do you have my phone number there on your phone?
I don't have it, no, but the network would. You could leave it with Manny here when you hang up, okay?
Yeah, because it's a friend's house, and I don't want to give it out on the air. But
all right, no, obviously not. Yes, yeah. Okay.
But that said, I can enlighten you a great deal about what you should enlighten your listeners about.
Yeah.
Because nobody cares about the affairs of Dave Amos or your religious beliefs. Everybody loves their money.
That's for sure.
And the fact that Rothschilds and Rockefellers control the pharmaceutical industry and the Rothschilds control the banks, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
Everybody should be greatly concerned about the legislation going down. And there's a bill, for hate speech or whatever coming up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's much going on in there.
Pay attention to Canada and what happened with our Human Rights Commission. It is very slanted in one direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what I'd like to do? I'm going to have to move on right now, but here's what I'd like to do, Dave. I'd like to get you to spend a couple of hours with us some night next week on the program to discuss these issues. Would you want to do that?
I don't want to make a promise I can't keep because I'm on the move. Me and the RCMP are
well, if you wish, the invitation is open. I just need to know in advance. Even if it's for an hour or an hour and a half, you may do that. But right now, I do have to stick with the.
What about tomorrow night? I can't speak a week ahead, but in a day or two.
Well, tomorrow night I do have a guest. And but we're not going to take the whole program, probably an hour or so. So if you want to call back maybe in the second hour, that's fine.
Yeah. Another fellow tried to get me on the air a month or so ago, or it was actually just before the 4th. It was July the 3rd.
Okay.
And he couldn't get me on the air. The show kept getting interrupted.
Well, we have that problem from time to time. Let's see what happens tomorrow night, okay, Dave?
Yeah. So what he did was
send me the email.
The call.
I'll contact you if I don't get it, okay?
Yep.
All right. Thank you, Manny. Let's move on now to John in Canada also. Hello, John.
Hey, Rick. Yeah, just a quick note on that last caller. You know, it's important to know that the subprime mortgage securities were a type of the same Ponzi scheme that Madoff was convicted for life on. You know, it's Ponzi schemes are happening all over the place.
Oh, they are. Yeah.
The Zionist threat. Why we have failed, unfortunately, as a species up until now, anyway, we're getting there, is that we have problems identifying what a Jew is. We can talk about it ethnically or religiously,